The question, when you have a game that comes down to this, the back and forth at the very end, did Aaron Rodgers win it, or did the 49ers' incompetence lose it? And my finger is pointed at the Niners. I'm pointing it at the Niners, and we'll walk you through this. So I've got mathematics, tunnel, and whistling Dixie. And we will tie all of these things together, and we're going to make banana cream pie, which is the greatest pie of them all, in a monologue. Now, most games, this is a philosophy we have on this show, if you're new to the show, most games are lost, not won. More times than not, it's because of incompetence, not because of greatness. I believe this is no exception to the rule. Now, I realize that most people will have the opinion that, no, it's all Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers. But I look at the Niners side of things, and I say that phrase that the fish rots from the head down, that applies to the Niners. It starts, if you're going to point fingers, the guy wearing the headset, Kyle Shanahan, needs to be called out. That's on his shoulders. What a big dummy Kyle Shanahan was in clock management at the end of the game. Aaron Rodgers made a couple of clutch throws. Fine. Hall of Fame quarterback. Regardless of that, if Shanahan does his job, right? The old philosophy, do your job. If the coach of San Francisco does his job, then Rodgers would not have been able to use the magic wand at that point. The mathematics would have made it impossible. Now, let me lay this out. There's a couple of scenarios here. You can pick and choose. Now, the 49ers, on their final drive, they had all of their timeouts. Right? Following the first down, the Niners took a snap. They had about 12 seconds, I believe, left on the play clock, the 40-second play clock. So at that point, you would say, milk the cow and milk the clock. You have all your timeouts, 3 timeouts, and instead of taking that other 12 seconds off the clock, running it right down to the final moment before you snap the ball, they score the touchdown, which is great. You've got the lead, but you've left 37 seconds to Green Bay, where if you had run it down to the very end, you would have had then roughly 25 seconds. If it had gone all the way to the end at that particular moment, you still would have had your timeout, so you still would have been able to call a number of plays if you hadn't gotten in. But wait, there's more. Let's say that's unrealistic. How about this scenario? You scored the touchdown, 37 seconds left. You then have a decision to make on special teams. Do you trust your coverage unit to stop the opposition, the Packers, from getting a big return? The 49ers decided they did not trust. Kyle Shanahan did not trust his special teams. He kicked the ball out of bounds, right? Out of the, it was a touchback through the end zone there, touchback that kept the ball in play. So at that point, if they had kept the ball in play, is what I meant to say, then that would have run at least 5, possibly more seconds off the clock, and the Packers started their own 35-yard line. So pick and choose. You can say both or one, but to do none is negligence by the 49ers coach, and so we point the finger at Kyle Shanahan. And part B of this, while Kyle Shanahan gets the biggest piece of the blame pie, biggest slice of the blame pie, the 49ers secondary, let's spend a couple of good minutes on those bozos, right? Armed and not dangerous. Now, we knew that the Niners were convinced that is the weak link on this team. When they went out and got Josh Norman right before the season, that told you all you needed to know about the 49ers. They can spin it any way they want. This is an underwhelming unit. Teetering on the brink in the final 37 seconds, completely AWOL. A shrug-inducing performance. Now, every man, woman, and child who watched that game, sitting on their tuchus like I was, you knew what was coming. And the Niners knew what was coming, and it didn't matter. Aaron Rodgers was going to have tunnel vision. And sure enough, he had tunnel vision. Where's Davante Adams? Where's Davante Adams? Find Davante Adams. On cue, exactly what happened. So Green Bay gets the ball back, and they ran 3 pass plays. They also had a spike, but 3 pass plays and a spike. All 3 passes were targeting number 17 in the Packer uniform, Davante Adams. 1st and 10 and Rodgers hit Adams on a 25-yard play to the 50-yard line. He then came up, spiked the ball. So about 21 seconds to go. He then targets Adams again. Incomplete pass. So now it's 3rd down and 16 seconds on the clock. And so Rodgers comes back. Now, what do you think Rodgers is going to do? If you're in the Niners secondary, what are you thinking at that point Aaron Rodgers is going to do? Sure enough, he drops back, clock runs down, he throws a deep pass to the left side of the field to Davante Adams for another chunk play, 17 more yards. That gets him in field goal range, and Rodgers then spikes the ball, sets up Mason Crosby for the game-winning 51-yard field goal. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Now, Adams is a great wide receiver, but you're telling me the 49ers defense, there's no way they can force Rodgers to throw the ball somewhere else? That Adams is so much better than the Stooges in the Niners secondary, and they're so incompetent, and the coaching staff defensively is so incompetent, they can't come up with a way to force someone else to make a play there at the end? Can anyone make a play on defense for the Niners? Could anyone? No, listen, I'm happy. I had Green Bay in the game, so I'm happy the outcome. But watching that was a game the Niners, it was right there for them. Right there for the Niners, and you're standing around there watching completely clueless as it's just tunnel vision to Davante Adams. Davante Adams, Davante Adams, Davante Adams, Davante Adams. Again. All right, last word. So overall, the Green Bay Packers can, for now, put down the paper bag. No need to hyperventilate. They were heading towards hyperventilation highway. Now, that being said, I keep it real here. And we do not think that this was impressive for the Packers. Let me explain what I mean by this. Now, there's a lot of people who are slurping all over the cheeseheads, but I have an unpopular opinion. I have an unpopular opinion. Guess what? Aaron Rodgers, who dominated the first half of this game, did not meet that standard in the second half for the bulk of the second half. And the reason ultimately why the Packers needed that Houdini act at the end was because Aaron Rodgers did not play particularly well in the second half. Now, I'm not just whistling Dixie here. If you look at the numbers, Rodgers in the second half, I know some of the numbers are skewed a little bit by the spikes, but he was averaging, even with those big chunk plays to Davante Adams, he averaged like 5 yards per pass attempt. He was shaky. And 54% of all of his yards in the second half came on those final 2 passes that led to the field goal. But we were told that Green Bay is a power in the NFC. They were in the NFC Championship game last year. This is a great team. This is one of the great teams in the NFL. The 49ers are an overrated lightweight. Blah wins over the Lions and Eagles. All right, a couple of rinky-dink teams. The Packers should have won this game in a rout or root, depending on how you learned how to say it when you were younger. But I look at Green Bay's defense, and I'm not particularly impressed. That does not bode well when you play a team like the Rams down the line in a hypothetical playoff game, or even Tampa Bay again in a postseason situation. The Niners, with a bunch of guys out, Jimmy Garoppolo playing, they put Lance in a few times. They converted 64% of their third down attempts. San Francisco had more first downs than Green Bay. Packers made a lot of mistakes. They were flagged for 7 penalties for 87 yards. They had a fumble. So not clicking on all cylinders. It is fair to say not clicking on all cylinders. All right, let's hear now from some of the key participants here. I mentioned Kyle Shanahan, called him out, put Kyle Shanahan on blast, and here he is trying to praise Aaron Rodgers and push the blame away from him.
You always worry with Aaron on the other side. That's why we didn't use any timeouts. We're hoping to take it down, but it was a hell of an effort by Juice to get in.
Yeah. Well, why did you not kick it and allow more time to go down? Here's more about Aaron Rodgers. Let's go to the other side. Here's let's go to Shanahan again. Here's Kyle Shanahan pointing out that he was happy with his quarterback, Jimmy G.
Jimmy played real well tonight. The fumble there was a screen. He got let through way too early. It was a play-action screen. Right when he turned it around, it looked like 97 was in his face, and he tried to get rid of it and threw it backwards.
Yeah. And then said, no, I didn't do what you said I did.
You blew it!
that was not a great play. All right, Jimmy Garoppolo now, who points out that it's not easy to be on the straight and narrow.
We're, kind of in a good rhythm. That's where you toe the line of, you got the defense on their heels. I mean, it's really hard to score down there in the red zone as it is. Do you want to let them catch their breath and that type of thing? But, it's when a guy catches it and makes a play like that, you're not going to be upset at him for scoring. It's just, I know what you're saying. You want to toe that line with it. It's tough.
Yeah, toe the line, or as Johnny Cash said, walk the line. All right, here's one more from Jimmy Garoppolo, who, even though it doesn't look like the Niners knew what they were doing with the clock, he's saying that they actually did.
You're always conscious of it in that situation. I mean, there's a lot of, different things going on, but yeah, game clock, you're always trying to get it as low as you can. It's just tough when you got a guy like Aaron on the other side. You leave him any amount of time. You never know what could happen. I mean, the dude did it in 36, 37 seconds. You got to tip your hat to him sometimes.
Yeah. Or would he have been able to do it in 25 seconds if you had run the play clock down?